Hark! Hark! Is the soundboard back?
Yeah, it is.
Think the
Yay.
soundboard's back. Let's have a little go then.
There you go. We're back.
The soundboard is back in town. And on top of that, also, what else is back?
Don't know.
Well, we're all back in our rightful place.
Oh, okay. Not Vincent.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not Vincent, though. Where is Vincent?
Where is Vincent?
On today's episode of Where is
Wallace.
Vincent?
Yeah. Where's Tough? Where's he toughing around? Where's he toughing out?
I think he's playing with the spree, isn't he?
I believe he is. I believe he's on tour with them at the moment. I saw some photos that they were playing some great shows. It's really cool because they've upscaled it from when we played with them, which was, I think was like 200 to 500 cap venues, to now they've gone the next level up. So it's places like the Marble Factory in Bristol and Academy, but the next room up and stuff. So it's just really nice to see that they're having that really good trajectory of success, building
Yeah,
up.
it can be done in a year as well, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that, and obviously Kai's put so much work into promoting the band and building a true fan base of loyal followers. When I was in a venue in Wales, the local promoter there was saying to me there was quite a fascinating phenomenon, which is that because these artists get really big really quick on TikTok now, firstly, they're suddenly put in front of 5,000 people and they've never done a gig in their life. So they just don't know what to do because they've just gone straight to that level. But secondly, because these gigs get booked 6 months to a year in advance, what happens is that the tickets all get bought up, like 5,000 tickets. But then when the gig comes around, because those fans weren't really fans, they just liked whatever was trending, they don't show up.
Yeah, everyone's forgotten about it.
Oh,
Yeah. Because
that must feel horrible for the bands, though.
Yeah, but they haven't fostered a true connection with the follower.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, it makes total sense that would happen.
It's much better to build up the following and nurture it from the ground up, even if it seems like they're quite small at the beginning. To then, when you get to the bigger ones, instead of going straight in there, then you've got that loyal fan base, but also you have new people coming in, but it's solid, and then people will show up to the gigs at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've all played shows of various different sizes, meaning that we've experienced it like right from the very beginning of being teenagers and doing like tiny gigs and stuff like that, and sort of building it up. It's like, I guess with any job, you can't go straight into a company and be the boss straight away. No. You have to work your way up, otherwise you don't understand the environment in which you're working.
It's like, I like the phrase, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
That's
the
really,
music industry. Or maybe 20. So, yeah.
But yeah, that's really good. That's really true, and it just makes absolute sense. You suddenly put someone who's never done a gig in front of 5,000 people. How can you expect them to do it?
And if they do show up, the ticket holders, then they get there and they'll be like, these guys have no idea what they're doing.
It's just no one song.
Yeah, so I found out it's quite interesting that that's sort of a phenomenon that this local promoter in Cardiff was experiencing.
Do you think it's a bit weird that people buy tickets just because they saw something on TikTok? Like, not weird, but I mean, it's cool that they do that, because you could just we just need to crack one meme, basically, on TikTok. You guys do one completely unrelated meme, and then that goes viral, and then loads of people will be like, oh, actually, they actually can play. So that's quite...
Yeah, we've done groundwork. We're ready to be viral.
Yeah, and I guess if it means you've got a strong enough fan base that even if the people who were just kind of the fair weather fans don't show up, then it doesn't matter that much, because you've got a strong loyal fan base that are really connected with your work. That's why I've always felt that when people do these big national talent TV shows, it doesn't necessarily always translate to an ongoing career, because the people who have watched it and enjoyed have not necessarily enjoyed that artist's work, but just they enjoy watching telly and enjoy watching things on telly, rather than being, I absolutely love that artist and what their message is, and I feel so connected to them.
Message is really...
It's a jump between watching something on a Saturday night and then actually going out to gigs and supporting them and actually getting into it. They might buy the album when, if they win the finale, but it's not much longevity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, message is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, you have
nowadays.
I think you have to foster a relationship with your audience and with your followers, that they feel connected to you. with the sort of the message and the story that you're conveying. And
speaking of which, should we do a little thank you for people that have done our fundraiser so far?
yes,
Well, definitely. That was on the agenda. It's coming.
I feel like that's a segue.
But yes, yes, we should. So a week ago, was it a week ago? It went live. So you guys put a new web link up on the website and didn't really do much promotion for it yet. So that's still to come, or has just happened. What day it is?
it's so weird, this whole time dilation thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really difficult. So a week ago you put out the new webpage about the video that you're going to film in 6 weeks' time. Can you give us an update on it?
Yeah.
Well, firstly, we were just so unbelievably impressed and thankful to you guys for already donating towards it. That's so encouraging for us, and that meant that we were able to secure some things to do with the video shoot already. So we're like, brilliant, we got that locked in, we've got that booked, because the funds were there to do it. So that was so amazing. We're so thankful for that. And now we've got that really exciting milestone on the horizon to film that video. We're all getting super hyped about it. Went a bit Bristolian there. Super hyped about it.
Akina.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's going to be in Devon actually, which is the West Country, which is also that accent. So we'll go down to Devonshire and film a video.
I mean, it'll come back with one of those accents, which I'm really looking forward to adding to my repertoire.
There you go.
But also, yeah, I'm really excited because I get to go with them and just kind of, film everything that's going on and just be a general annoying fly on the wall. And also, I kind of insisted that everybody stays in this really cool Airbnb instead of in hotels, because then we can all be together. So that way we can get way more content.
We'll do a special diamond cast from the Airbnb.
We are going to do that. We are going to do a special diamond cast on the Airbnb with some special guests.
Which was super cool. Remember when we did the one in France?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, we're going to do something like that, except multiple cameras. It's going to be bigger and better, and all sorts of things like that.
No Freddie Thunder though, that's the only thing.
No Freddie Thunder. Yeah, that's a bit of disappointment. Maybe we could call him and get him to come.
Just add him in post.
Yeah.
Just a little face in the corner.
Flash him up for like a subliminal image. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. So that's sorted. So yeah, thank you so much for that, guys. It's so encouraging to see that when we put that out, we instantly had these responses, and it was that real feeling for us of validation that we've got that support and we've got that enthusiasm and that passion from you guys to help us to make more content, which is everybody wins. So really good. Thank you.
Yeah, you've got 6 weeks to help us out some more.
You've got
the deadline. Actually, the deadline is the day that we do the shoot, isn't it? Because then, so you've got time if you still want to
get your name in the
contribute
credits
and get your name in the credits. Yeah. What else do you get?
to get a nice certificate, and I'm just designing a special badge set, so you'll be part of the story.
The certificate's online, isn't it? It's on that link.
Yeah.
And there's an Easter egg on that certificate, isn't there?
There is. Well, you might. Oh, yeah. Actually, if you look carefully, it might be a clue for the next.
Ooh. Has anybody spotted it yet? And more than that, has anybody spotted it and worked out what it means?
Oh. Maybe.
Oh, I mean, it's exciting. I haven't.
I'm not going to say anything else.
I love.
I'm not saying anymore.
Detail.
I'm not saying anymore, and I'm not saying anymore on Discord either. So this is the most I've said on Discord, which is there's a secret Easter egg in there.
That's brilliant. In fact, that's something that I know we were going to talk today a little bit about what we were looking forward to, and that's definitely something for me that I'm looking forward to is that shoot. Not only getting on the set and doing a proper video again with you guys, but also it all coming to fruition, because this has been a song. It's probably one of my favourite songs that we've finished to date. And it's always been a really special song for me. And there's been this, when are we going to get it out? It's I love this song so much. And the fact that now it's all happening, the video, because it's always, I felt this had to be one that had a proper video.
We said what the song is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the link.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Just in case. I thought you were being a bit cryptic by saying this song.
Being a bit
not
cryptic,
saying the
wasn't I? Yeah. So the song "Fall Into the Silence" is one that we have sort of had in the chamber for a while, and it's been a real life favourite. And it's one that, if you guys have, I'm sure you've been to the shows, if you come to the UK or European shows, that we always get people to sing along with. right from the start, before we start playing it, we explain this is how the chorus goes, and because it's so simple, it's been really nice to see people singing along. So it's really nice to see it all come to
How's it
fruition.
go for people who haven't been to shows? What do you ask people to sing?
A cappella.
Well, I can't. No, I'm not going. I can't. I was going to try and pitch it, but I don't have perfect pitch, so I just guess that it's somewhere like the chorus goes, "Is there anyone anywhere?" So just that very simple melody that people would just hook onto when we play live, and it'd be great because you'd look out and you see everybody singing it. Because I gave them a sample beforehand of like, this is how it's going to go. And then you'd see people singing along, and it was great. And I remember one of the bands we played with, FM. Afterwards, I was backstage, and the bass player, who's northern, he said, "Do you know what? We really love that Anyone Anywhere, Ben."
It's quite a highlight of the set as well, because we on the last couple of tours we played that as the second song. So the first song, it's always a bit like people that don't know us are like, what you got, what's this all about? And then the second track, you see people starting to like, yeah. And that's the track that it's one of my favourites to play, because that's when everyone sort of gets us. So it's a very nice, positive moment.
So they get the message behind the music and what you're trying to say, as well as you involve them in the song. So they're like, yeah, we can sing this, even though we've just seen this band for the first time.
Yeah, because that's the point up until this point in the set where we'd actually stop and talk to the audience. And in that, we talk about, this is who we are, this is what our message is.
Yeah.
And it was the third song. So we'd tie the first two songs together. Yeah. And then we'd stop, we'd talk, and we'd say, this is what the band is about, this is our mission, and this song is about, if you're struggling, you can reach out to people around you and connect with others. And it was really nice to get that message out quite early. And when we started doing it, my in-between chat was quite convoluted. I wasn't very confident. And fortunately, the other guys said to me, look, you've got to make this simpler. It just really pare it down into, these are the core elements of what you're saying. Make it positive as well. Because I started by saying, hi, we're Diamond Black, and we sing songs about depression.
Maybe that's not the most positive start.
And so it was about, okay, how can I rephrase?
Did you actually say that?
I did.
It was something along those lines.
And very, very diplomatically afterwards, I think, Adam, you said to me, I think we should approach this in a different way.
It's not like it's not accurate, but there are like the subjects like that, but like maybe a bit more.
Yeah,
we're a bit more fun.
I hadn't shown about how the band is actually about dealing with and finding positive ways through it.
Dealing
was
with
just
depression
like,
rather than just depression.
Yeah, this song's about depression. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, it was a slow process of figuring out, how do I phrase things in between the song to get the message across succinctly, quickly, but without being like preachy and without being like, this is what you must do. And I think after doing a few shows, we managed to find a good balance of showing people that positive message whilst making it still something where it's up to you if you want to take on board this message and find that sort of middle ground.
I think for figuring out those bits between the songs, like the message between the songs, is parallel to us figuring out the message we wanted to put across as a band in general.
Yeah.
And like that evolution through like doing the gigs and figuring out what to say between the songs, it's the same. It's like we were talking the other day, it's like, what is our sort of brand message as a band? And it is that kind of heavy subjects but with a positive message vibe.
Yeah, so it was really organic, which kind of spins us back to the start of this conversation, which is that our message has come very organically through working together as musicians live and in the studio and going out and touring and figuring out, okay, what are we actually saying here, rather than never done a gig before. Hey, what's our band going to be? This. Okay, cool, go. So yeah, it was very organic.
What do we know? What should we sing about? It's like, going out, getting drunk. That's about it.
Yeah, so it was very empirically done, of just empirically of actually doing it, of actually going out and doing it. And when we started on that tour, we weren't really thinking about that at all. We just said, hey, let's go and play some songs. This will be great. And then the band's message emerged, as you say, Adam, through doing those shows.
I think actually saying the things between the songs as well, it's like inviting the audience to know a bit about the tracks rather than just the music. because obviously you're just playing songs and you say, "Hey," it's nice to tell people, "Hey, this is Falling to the Science, blah blah," and it's about this, and then play it because people actually pay attention and listen to it and actually be like, "Oh yeah, I get that. That's cool." So it's a nice little setup as well for the.
Yeah, and I've not seen bands do that too much. I feel sometimes, and
It's all more like, I want to see a clap and stuff like that, but like not actually telling me what the song's about.
Or why I should clap. Like, why am I going to raise my hands for this band I've never seen before?
Like, you just don't care.
Let me be the judge of that first.
Yeah, and trying to find a way of framing the subject matters that make it general enough so people can think, oh, actually, yeah, maybe I feel that sometimes, rather than me go, here's a story about a thing what happened to me and I hated it.
Yeah, that's where my girlfriend left me. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but then you if you've got that in your mind as an audience member, you see the band, and it's like, oh yeah, I know people that feel like that, or I felt like that, or something, and you think, yeah, I will stand and listen, and then maybe I'll put my fist in the air. Like,
yeah, and Adam, as you'll remember, when people came up to us after the shows, a lot of people were saying what you said between the song and then you played the song really meant a lot to me, and that was something that was like, hang on, this is actually really working. Our message is getting across because we're just explaining a little bit about what this song is about and what and a positive resonance on it. So it wasn't just here's a bad thing and a song is about it. It was about here's a possible solution, and how the shows themselves, the community, could act as a solution in the way that we're building a community with Discord and the band and doing this cast. And I had a bit of a revelation last week when I thought doing this cast has not only brought the fans together, but it's brought us together. Because we usually, like, before we started doing the cast, we'd get together and have a meeting like maybe every week or two, or whatever. But it was always be like about work and about what we're doing next, rather than actually talking like this.
It's less fun stuff. It's
yeah. And since we've done this, I feel like I've got to know you guys so much better. I feel we're so much closer. In some ways, no, it really is. I think the better you get to know people, the more you then get to deal with. If you ever have any kind of like beef with a person, you go, well, hang on, no, I understand this person, and therefore I understand why we might be clashing on this.
It's very important. Like what I was saying last week about advice for people being in a band and picking the right people, because it's like a marriage. This is doing the cast is very good because it's also bonding. It's time spent together. Because I was thinking when you said things to look forward to and doing the shoot, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Vincent, because in real life, no, but when was the last time we saw each other in real life?
Yeah, good point.
End of the last time we played a gig, maybe. And that was middle of last year.
Wait, no.
Wait, did we meet up for Christmas? I don't know. But it'd be nice to actually see. I see you all the time, so we do this. But it'd be nice to actually, reconnect.
Yeah. Really on top of this, you have your weekly meetings and things as well. So you do see each other online.
But I mean, like in physical.
And we're always talking on Slack. Like, I mean, you've been recording an album together for the past couple of months, and so you've been talking to each other on Slack for like every day, haven't you?
But we recorded our parts separately. So that's we spend a lot of time together, but not a lot of time physically in the same place. Yeah.
Are you telling me that the last time we were physically together was the last gig of the Esprit tour, which was in like?
Oh no, after Hellfest in France.
Oh yeah. So July came back.
That wasn't the last time you were physically together.
Might be. I know, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Because then we started doing
ruined the illusion that you guys all hang out every weekend.
We do on Zoom.
I think that goes back to something. Was it something Vincent said last week about not wanting to go out every weekend, like to clubs and bars, and to actually put effort into drumming? And therefore, that's why he's such a good drummer now, is because he decided to make that decision. And because I remember, because we all used to go out every weekend together all the time, like 15 years ago. That's sort of,
I know when the last time
we did see each other every weekend sometimes.
Oh man.
But yeah, as time goes on, you hone your skills and see each other on Zoom, thanks to the future of video calling.
Yeah. Did you guys actually do many video calls before COVID?
No,
me neither. No, it was like a sort of slightly weird thing to do. And the latency was always quite bad as well. And but the video call since COVID has been like a really common thing. And often my preference is to do it because then I can actually see the person and see their expressions and just having a chat.
No, well, actually, on to Adam's point, one of the questions we didn't get to answer from Discord last week actually totally feeds right into that. So I'm going to ask it now. It's from someone on Discord called Muppet, who says, "How do you find people who want to help you with your creative vision?"
Wait. I guess it depends what your creative vision is. Well, in terms of like, we wanted to be in a rock band. I can only speak for myself. In terms of wanted to be in a rock band, I went to the rock bars. But then maybe
that's exactly the answer, though, isn't it?
Yeah, find people. You have to, like, I guess, figure out where people with the same vision and same like-minded interests or whatever would be. Like, I guess if you're into, I don't know, poetry, join a poetry night or whatever. If you're into like
there are so many of them.
Nerdy things,
we accidentally went to one
cons and stuff like that. So I guess figure out where these places are. But I don't know if it's. I mean, it's like saying, like, where do you find a girlfriend, or like, could be, it's just like, I don't know, go where they are. I don't know. What do you
I suppose there's loads of online things as well where you can meet people in creative groups.
Depends what your creative vision is.
Well, like, it does depend. But I mean, like, how did you guys find, like, Yanni, for example?
Oh, that was because I played a festival and he was also there with a band. So yeah, meeting someone at a festival, musical events.
I guess it's exponential though, isn't it? It's like, because then we hung out in the rock places and knew more people, then they know people and you get connections that way, sort of organically. So I just guess you've got to start somewhere.
So it seems like it's going out. It's putting yourself places. It
definitely helps. Yeah, well, I mean,
that's the way.
Who you know is definitely a thing.
The common denominator on it.
And doing things as well. Like, if you're a musician, go to some open mic nights and just play a couple of songs, and
that's true.
That's really scary.
I know, it's absolutely terrifying.
But then you'll meet other people on the same level of their journey as you, probably, and you will help each other out.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, and it's a good place because people have genuinely gone to that in order to connect with other musicians, rather than going to a bar. That might not be the case, but that's an event where they've and also you meet like-minded people because they're people who are probably a little bit scared, but they've overcome that fear to come and do something like that. So they've got that ambition and that passion for doing something where they'll overcome a fear, whereas maybe someone who's just gone to a bar just wants to go and drink.
Yeah, I guess you need to find people that are on the same level or same place in their journey as you as well. So if you're, like you say, if you're just starting up at open mic night, it's really good. I guess if you've been a bit, I don't know.
Well, there's like there are apps, like I think Meetup is an app where you can go on there and you can really like filter what it is you're interested in, and then you can then it finds events for you that cater to that are in your area. So that's a really cool way of doing it, rather than just randomly going out to something.
I did that once.
When I said go to a bar, I meant like the London scene. You used to have like a London scene. So
yeah,
I travelled from where I used to live, which wasn't in London, to London to go out in the rock scene because I wanted to meet people in bands and join a band myself. So I guess that I didn't mean just go to a random bar. I meant go to like.
That's why you ended up DJing, isn't it? So you could be the person that everyone like looked at, and trusted for musical. Yeah, and also I guess.
All three of us met was presumably the Intrepid Fox, the Electric Ballroom, of knowing about places that were well known on the alternative music scene, and just meeting there and DJing and hanging and so that's why we're all sat here today, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
And none of us were originally from London, are we?
No.
So we all are you?
Well, sort of. I mean, South London. We still have red buses, but we don't have. Congestion charge.
I guess. Okay, so you sort of are, but Vincent's not, and I'm not, and we came to London because we thought that's a place where lots of alternative music will be happening, and people will travel from other countries and other cities in order to be part of it.
And that was now.
And that was a lot of people, I guess, left.
Probably better now, yeah.
Yeah, that might well be the case, but certainly back then that was why I went there. In fact, when my previous band sort of fell apart, the manager said, "Look, just go to London because you will find people who've got the same sort of mindset as you." Did
you say anything else? go to London and do what?
Let's go to London and fuck off.
Get off at Charing Cross, like.
Yeah, he gave me all the advice. He did a city mapper for me. He told me exactly what. He just said if you go there, you'll meet people who also are ambitious and want to do stuff, and will have travelled to London for the same reasons.
Cool. And you did.
And I did.
Yeah, and it worked. Look, and now we've got a podcast.
Look where we are now. Yeah, no, that's really good. And also,
we don't really have very good advice to that question, to be honest. Apart from
that was
find like-minded people.
What do you mean? That was
Okay,
great
was that good
advice.
Okay.
Well, go and immerse yourself in places where the thing you like happens.
Yes.
Go and talk to people who are on the same part of their journey as you, and they might know other people they can introduce you to, and then you expand your network that way. And also you get to experience the same things at the same point in the journey as new people that you've met, so they understand how you feel and vice versa.
Wicked.
That's great advice.
That was a really good summarization.
Just use that.
Yeah. Just cut me out and just say that.
No. This is what you said. I just summarized it.
That's good. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's really good. There you go. Cool. Tomorrow, Ben, you're in the studio tomorrow. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. So I have got remaining guitars to do in the studio. Mostly it will be acoustic guitars. I've got a spreadsheet, of course.
Oh.
Hang on, sorry, wait a minute. Let's do this properly. I've got a spreadsheet, of course. And I think we've discussed this hitherto. You can find it on previous episodes where I described the colour coding system.
I was about to ask if it uses the same colour coding system, but all good.
It absolutely does. Why wouldn't it? I'm not a fool.
Is that going to be the last lot of recording for the album?
Of guitars, yeah. Then obviously you've got your bassoon parts to do, and Nat's doing the exactly. So that will be the last guitars, and it will be acoustic stuff, and a few more like specialised parts. So it'll be. I'm hopeful that it will be a more fun, relaxing day of. Great. So we've done most of the stuff. This is sort of the fun bits at the end. I am prepared for it not to be, because there might be some sort of thing that then goes wrong. Oh, actually, that acoustic is in the wrong tuning, and then we need to mic it up like this, but that mic doesn't, whatever, complications. But
acoustics harder to record than electrics, or are they just different?
I think because you're miking up something ambiently and you aren't getting a direct signal, that it can be more difficult. But I think
you get less effects to fuck around with.
That's true. Yeah, just a bit of reverb. So I think once we get a setup, it'll be easy just to power through the songs. The only issue I'm preempting is that some of the songs are in a slightly weird key, like G sharp and C sharp. And with an acoustic, it's all about the open strings. So I'm wondering how I'm going to get around that. There you go. Capo. You know what? I didn't even think of that. Okay. Genius. Absolute genius.
There you go.
I've actually got a really
podcast of great.
Well.
I actually used a capo on my bass on one of the recordings, because I think one of them was in C sharp, and all of the songs were open C tuning, so I capoed the first fret for the recording.
Oh, this! Do you know, I didn't think of this at all. You've actually solved tomorrow for me.
Way.
Very glad we did this. So yeah,
great soundboard.
Sorry, I was just drinking my milk.
Cool. Great. So will there be some videos of your antics coming out tomorrow as well?
Yeah, I will definitely make the effort to do that, because sometimes when you're in the studio, when one is in the studio, you're so focused on what you're doing that you can sort of forget, or you can feel like it's not that important to do it, but it is, because it's so important to pick up on these little bits of moments, even if it's just like 2 or 3 things that I'll do. I think it's really useful, so I will be doing those.
Excellent. Well, everyone is going to be looking forward to seeing that, I'm sure, because they always do really well on Instagram.
Yeah.
Should we explain to people quickly what a capo is, in case they don't know? In case there's no guitar players in the chat.
Have you got one?
I have got one.
Okay, good.
It's a bit out of focus. I don't know how to do it.
What's that, Adam?
So, I mean, you can put this across the neck of the guitar, and then it holds all the strings down on a certain fret, and then you can sort of use it to transpose the guitar. I guess that's the easiest way to...
So it's very well explained, actually.
Thanks.
Yes. And it can be... I find it messes with my head a bit if I try and use one too much, because it's just like you're playing almost a different instrument. because you're so used to looking at something in a certain way. But other people, I've got a feeling that you're more laterally minded than I am, Adam, and you're easy to just put it on and go, yeah, just playing.
Yeah. As long as you're not trying to read a tab, because then it's like 1 becomes 0 or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Have you ever tried slide guitar?
No, I was trying to play with one of those glass slides before. On a
Yeah,
guitar,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I couldn't really. I didn't put enough time into it. Maybe I should try it again.
It's a completely different way of playing. It's a completely different almost instrument. And I was in the studio once, and the producer said, "Oh yeah, put a slide on this." And I said, "Okay, cool." And I picked up the slide, and I was like, "This will be easy." I just started, and I was like, "No, this isn't happening." It's like I picked up some completely new instrument.
I found it really hard because you have to sort of mute all the strings you're not picking. From what I remember,
and you play to the metal bit, not the middle of the fret as well. So yeah, that didn't work. So there won't be any of that tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's like maybe it's album number 2.
maybe I just like do one note.
Well, actually, next podcast episode, I think is going to be about gear specifically, or mainly the theme will be gear. So if you've got some interesting items that you find tomorrow, Ben, that might be quite a good thing to remember to talk about next week.
Nice.
Yeah, or if
we'll do that when Vince's
questions,
back as
leave
well.
them on the Discord and we can answer.
Yes, as well. Questions about gear.
As in, like, guitars and
musical gear.
Yeah.
Yes, musical gear.
Not hiking gear or
no, like guitars, amps, and pedals and cables. If you're that nerdy, which you guys are.
Butterfly inspecting gear.
What's your butterfly?
What's your
Butterfly farm?
They sell that at the gift shop.
I might do.
So musical gear is next week.
Okay, I feel like we've gone quite off on tangents today.
We have,
the topic was Ben doing the guitars tomorrow, and we're still on it. So I think we're doing all right.
Cool.
All right, cool. So we've still got some questions to answer from the Discord that we asked last week. So the Agony Uncles are back in session.
Oh no.
Andy Crimson asks what is the best life lesson?
Is that the glasses?
Yeah. I should probably have my scarf as well.
Oh yeah.
Can I get my scarf?
Like the sort of therapist style, like with the glasses.
Can I get my scarf?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
This section.
Wait,
go on if you must. All right, hang on.
I see everyone is trying to buy some time to answer the question.
Through the magic of television. And he's back.
With my pipe. Which is
pipe. That's not a pipe, that's a Sharpie.
Sharpie. But it will have to do I can pensively go,
Yeah.
Interesting point, Martin. Let's expand upon that.
So, Andy Crimson asks, what's the best life lesson that you have learnt from being on tour?
We've got some answers for this.
Like Popeye.
Yes, I've made some notes. Yes,
Okay,
I've made some notes here. And I think it's whenever one goes into a new environment, whether that be a company or a friendship group or even meeting someone's family for the first time, it's always really nerve-wracking because I've always felt like, how do I come across well in this situation? And I think what I've learned is the best way to do that is to take a genuine interest in people around you, ask questions, and be a good listener. And there's this great anecdote from Dale Carnegie where he says that he went to a party once and he just asked loads of people questions, took a genuine interest. And at the end of it, the host of the party said, that guy was so interesting. He's one of the most interesting people I've ever met. But he'd not said anything about himself. He'd just taken an interest in others. And I think if you can do that in a new workspace or a family environment, it can really help you feel more relaxed because you're not having to think of interesting things to say or to somehow be impressive or whatever. It's just you take an interest in others. And I found that in a band environment, when you're going into working with a new band, that's people who have shown an interest and been good listeners have fitted in much better than people who come in and maybe try and tell funny stories or try and name drop on the cool things they've done or the people they've met. That usually doesn't work, especially if you're a new person. It's much better to come in and go, I'm showing an interest, I'm you, I want to give you guys a chance to, tell me about what you've been doing because I'm just the new person here. As well as looking for opportunities to help wherever you can.
Yeah, this is literally the secret to life, isn't it? This is exactly how you win life. And it's the secret way. It's like doing the cheat in Super Mario 1 and you go from world 4 to world 8. It's literally just like, just ask other people questions about themselves and don't talk about yourself as much. And then everybody likes you.
And doing it with a genuine, so when you ask someone about something and they start talking, hook into the thing that you're genuinely interested in. Because then, you know, it's about being genuine. It's not about pretending you're interested. It's about finding that thing that you genuinely are interested that person's talking about. And when that temptation comes up for you to go, oh, I've done that too, and I did it like this, you just really go, no, I'm not. I'm going to ask more questions. And that can be really hard.
Yeah. It is hard. And I've done it myself as well at social gatherings. See, I'm doing it now. I don't know. I've done it at social gatherings before and it works. It really does. And you have to focus really hard on saying, on not making it about yourself and making it about the other people. But when you do, it pays off. It's definitely a really good bit of advice.
Yeah, totally. And so that's the life lesson that I've learned from being in bands, definitely.
Brilliant.
I guess, what have I got? I'd say, like, even though, like, okay, so it's more like what it's like being on tour. My takeaway from it is, like, my advice would be, don't worry, don't be afraid to take some time for yourself when you're on the road or in talks, even though you're part of a group and you're working towards the same thing. If you need like an hour a day to just be on your own and do some writing, or just have a kip like Vincent does, or like, or like I like to go and have a walk around the town that we're playing in. You know, you're obviously at the gig, you're there to work and you want to make sure everything runs properly, but don't like be afraid to go and have a bit of time to yourself, because you've got to enjoy yourself, or you've got to be in the right. It's supposed to be fun, and you also want to be in the right mental mindset before the gig. So it's like, you know, take a bit of time for yourself, and you know that's beneficial for the group as a whole, because then everyone's working to their more peak efficiency if they're all in a good frame of mind. So I'd say that.
That's really good advice too.
Yeah.
Really good. I found out earlier this week that Adam's really good at ASMR.
Why? When?
Because you were practicing speaking in different voices.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I mumbled too much on the cast, so I was trying to speak more eloquently, and I was doing some tongue twisters, but then it all just turned into ASMR. So,
what's ASMR?
I don't know what it's
whisper into the microphone like this.
Don't. We'll
But
get into a different channel.
You project it, and it's quite. It's some people find it scintillating.
Yeah.
Interesting, good word. Speaking,
I might leave this bit in. I might not.
Well, speaking of accents and pronunciation.
Yeah.
I was in Birmingham shopping centre a few days ago, and I went up to the security guard and I said, "This is how I said it. Excuse me, could you please tell me the way to Holland and Barrett?" Okay. And he stared at me, and in a really thick Birmingham accent, he said, "I can't understand your accent."
Oh, really? It's just too clear.
Yeah, it was incredible, absolutely incredible.
Nice.
Did you then do it in a Brummie accent and get the right directions?
Hey up. Oh, I can't even do it. I can't do that.
It's small look there, isn't it? It's like
Birmingham. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Have to say Birmingham.
Yeah, that's the only word I've got.
Just think of Ozzy Osbourne and then you'd be all right.
Oh, you're bloody mad. Oh, yeah, I've got it. Yeah,
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight of like, excuse me. So, but,
that's interesting, isn't it?
Isn't it just? But I guess what he was used to was hearing a very different accent, and therefore he was trying to tune into it. It's like, what's this?
This is definitely the arrogance of the South, isn't it, in the England? Yeah. Because we all think that we don't have an accent in the South and everyone else does. But when we go there, we're coming there with our big Southern accent.
I don't have an accent. What accent do I have?
You do to a person from Birmingham.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose so.
Because they don't think they have an accent. Everyone just doesn't think.
No, they do.
Like,
they know they've got an
but
accent.
the only reason we think that is because the television, when it started, had this accent guidelines, which was called received pronunciation.
Yeah.
And it was the voice that Ben just did, which was the incredibly posh Queen's English sort of voice, and so that was on the television all the time, and so that sort of became the standardized accent for television, and therefore anyone with a voice that sounded like that doesn't think they have an accent. I think generations later.
What's a good point?
I bet it's accents on the old bingo card. I wonder.
It is actually.
Is it?
I think it is, or if it's not, it probably should be.
No, that's a really good point. Yeah, because it was all London, 1942, and here we see. It's that, isn't it? It's the RP, isn't it? So
yeah.
Good point.
Get your RP out.
Good point.
I'd quite like to learn how to speak in RP in the English version. And I'd really like to learn how to do the American sort of transatlantic accent. I can't do it. I can do it if I watch like an old film, but to do the transatlantic accent is where it's, you know, where American accents sound a bit British. Like in the old American films, they speak in this accent, and it's really beautiful and old fashioned. And I really wish I could do it. Okay. Sometimes I try, but it doesn't work. But anyway, I can't do an example of it. It's even sadder. Cool. So, okay. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
I left it out last week because it's a biggie. Sugarpunk says, if you weren't a musician, what do you think you'd be doing now?
Adam Hart, tell me.
Well, I can't really imagine anything but, because I wanted to do music since I was like 9. But I do graphic design, and so I guess it'd have to be creative, because everything I do is in the sort of creative sphere. So I guess I can't say a graphic designer, because I do that as a job anyway. So I can't imagine doing anything but music. Maybe like something super nerdy. I don't know. It would be creative though. I don't think it would be anything other than creative. Not sports, not normal like corporate stuff. It would have to be something creative.
You would be it's not a job. You said you'd be quite good at Twitch streaming games.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Once.
Because, law, actually. Law. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, so yeah, and law.
Jump.
Why law? Yeah. This is a jump. Why? Well, this isn't creative.
I don't know. I just really like figuring things out logically. So maybe I really like law. I watch lots of Judge Judy. So there we go.
You're quite good at fixing kind of people's problems as well, and sort of figuring out things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be.
Cool. What about you, Ben?
Well, I loved drama when I was growing up, so I did that.
The subject or just
class?
Drama?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Well, actually, I was going to talk about drama addiction as well, but that might be one for another one.
What's drama addiction?
Well, we'll talk about that.
No, the other type of drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't stop reading Shakespeare. It's like...
yeah, no, that's what I thought you meant.
Acting. So when I was at school, I loved drama, and then the subject drama, and I did a few little school plays and things that actually made it outside of school to like national competitions. Ooh. And then at university, I did drama, film, and television studies. So and then after that, I made a short film, which I think I might have mentioned to you guys before, which was based on my very first day that I worked as a door-to-door salesman.
Was this real?
It was real. So I did one. It was like you trying to sell discount vouchers to a local restaurant to people.
Oh, okay.
And I did that for one day.
Sell discount vouchers.
The whole thing.
Okay. How old were you when you did your door-to-door salesman job?
Like 17.
They're always 17.
And I did it for one day, and it was so terrible, I just never went back. But
did the exact same thing, same age, same thing, one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But not discount vouchers or something else. But yeah,
I got hoodwinked into it because I read an advert in the paper that said crazy people wanted for fun new marketing company. I thought, that sounds like me. I'm crazy. Door-to-door sales. But the it's not a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I was thinking, Jeremy.
And you can't actually be crazy because when you turn up at someone's door and you're like, they don't like it.
They don't like it. But the one good thing that came with that was it inspired me to write this film with someone I went to uni with. That was called Sold Out. And it was about the plight of a door-to-door salesman. But it was sort of very kind of teeny comedy, like Naked Gun sort of comedy, that sort of like weird visual gags and stuff. And it was a 20-minute film, and we filmed it with a budget of £50, right?
That's quite impressive. Although it was quite a while ago, so that's what, like
How dare
£500 now, right?
No, well, it looked like it was in 1918. And then when we completed it, we entered it to a national film competition, and we actually got second place.
Wow.
So we went to this big film award ceremony in London, and it was presented by Rhys Ifans, the Welsh actor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Like Inside Number 9 and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Eyeball Paul.
Eyeball Paul.
Eyeball
Yeah,
Paul.
that's it, yeah.
Love it.
And Simon Pegg was there as well.
Cool.
Did you meet Simon Pegg?
I did,
Did
yes.
you do an impression of Simon Pegg? Because I feel that's the kind of thing you'd have done if you met Simon Pegg.
He's very impression-y, is he? He's just sort of, he plays cool, interesting characters. But
Oh,
yeah, so then
characters, yeah.
that was something that I was really interested in and I'd written and co-written and directed that, and I was in it a little bit as a dancing builder. Yes, for real.
Dancing.
Yeah,
Is it a musical?
That bit was.
Oh, cool. Can we watch this? Does it exist?
Oh,
It does
Discord.
exist.
Discord exclusive.
I need to find the link because it is on Vimeo somewhere.
Oh, nice.
And
If
then
the bats haven't found it by the end of this episode,
And then after that, I was still in bands during all this as well. So it was sort of these parallel, I suppose, career paths. And then in my 20s, I did various like acting things where I'd be in music videos in the background. I did a couple of commercials. There's a Golden Virginia tobacco commercial that aired in Greece that I'm in, which is so bizarre. And then
we're like rolling the tobacco and smoking it.
no, because you know what adverts
With a
are like?
Sharpie.
Yeah, yes. But you know what commercials are like? They're so like not oblique and not actually about the product.
Well, they were when they were good.
Well, back in the old days, they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
gleam all white for your teeth." But yeah, it was quite oblique, and it was just about these like musicians sat around in a studio, and then there was a girl doing some artwork, and then they fancied her, whatever. Again, I'll have to try and find that. But then the final thing that I did in any sort of acting capacity was I was in a Mel C music video.
Nice.
That's cool.
As in
What song?
one of the Spice Girls. She went and did a solo career, and it was a bit more rocky and stuff. And I was like the romantic lead in that.
Dude, her solo album was well good.
How have we not seen that,
Yeah, I
Adam?
really like the solo album. What song is it?
It was called Carolina.
Oh,
And I don't know if it was like a huge single or anything.
Immediately Googling.
So I'm in that, and I kind of struggled with that a bit because initially at the time I thought I'm going to be in a Mel C video, isn't that like really not rock? And I was quite worried about it. But once I did it, everyone who ever saw it contacted me and said, "It's so amazing! I've just seen you in this Mel C video," and everyone was really positive about it. So I probably would have
cool.
done more film and TV stuff, whether that be acting or writing or directing, because I really, really enjoyed that.
Who's your favourite character you've ever played?
What a good question. What a good question. I remember doing a duologue of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is by Tom Stoppard, which is about two characters from a Shakespeare, but it's like a sort of like a side quest that he wrote many years later. And I enjoyed that because that was funny. And also, have you ever seen the movie Sleuth? It's the one that in the 70s has got Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier in, and then they remade it about 10 years ago with Michael Caine as this time older version. And I can't remember who the main chap was. It's an English actor. But doing that, again, it was just two actors was on the stage, holding people's attention for an hour and a half, just the two of you with very minimal set. Was really, really challenging and really fun.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Must be really fun.
Yeah, and that's why the scarf. Oh, the acting, yes, treading the boards, darling, yes.
It's always you're a lovey.
Drama Ben has come in. That's what we're going to call the scarf now. It's Drama Ben.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Theatre Ben. Theatre Ben.
Theatre Ben, yes.
Theatre Ben.
Right.
Are you a thespian?
I am a thespian, yes, I am. Yes.
Great. That's a great question. Thank you.
That was a good question.
We had some really nice comments last week about kind of, how people felt about all the good advice and good tidbits of information that you gave. So that's why we kind of did the same thing this week. And I feel like there's equally amounts of, well, minus Vincent's, good advice come out today. So yeah, that's really good. So so on YouTube, some comments were one person says this episode was really helpful. I realized I already do some of the things you guys suggest, and it helped put things into perspective. Somebody else says the common theme I hear in most of this advice is grace. Show yourself others some grace along the way, and it will certainly benefit you in the future. That was Christina Gifrich. Moni M666 says, thanks for the nice episode. It was interesting to hear about the beginnings of musical careers, such as playing guitar, drums, and writing lyrics. Interesting advice not to give up, just to think positively. That's why I like to see you. Sugar Punk says, great advice from the Agony Uncles, especially the bits about dedication to working on music and dealing with critics. Andy says it's been one of my favourite episodes to date. Thank you for sharing your advice. I got a little bit emotional at some parts because it hit close to home. 30 minutes a day is better than nothing at all when it comes to practicing something. And Her Majesty Eve says, thank you really much for today's episode. Your advice is invaluable and it really helps reaching your level of toughness.
Tough. Oh, we haven't mentioned toughness today.
Thank
We
you.
actually did.
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
That's going to be on the bingo card at some point.
Thank you.
I'm sure someone said tough earlier in the beginning. So I've got some questions for you, which kind of feed into this advice thing because you're so good at it. And I thought, well, okay, based on what you said last week, I'd like to know, what have you been practicing this week? Putting into practice any of your wisdom from last week, or literally practicing something?
I've got a few things, obviously. So I think speaking to yourself compassionately is really important. So when we feel anxious and we...
Sorry, I was just picturing you just telling yourself off. Okay, let's do that again. Sorry. Oh, you paused?
No, I haven't.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry, I was just imagining something.
Okay, then. Speaking to oneself compassionately, I think is really important, because when you start to feel anxious about things, or you start to feel like nervous or panicked, sometimes the response to yourself can be, stop feeling like this, you've got to feel positive, feel positive! And sometimes that can just make it worse, because you feel like, oh my God, why am I not being more positive? And I found that if I can speak to myself and say, I understand why you feel like this at the moment, why you feel this sense of fear or panic or anxiety, I know why, I understand. It's okay to feel it. It's not necessary to feel it. It's okay. And here's why perhaps you might feel it. Analysing it a bit and then being kind to yourself is a much better way than just being like, be positive, come on!
I guess I've been practicing Maple Leaf Rag by Scott Joplin. I love ragtime piano, so I've been playing that a lot. So.
Nice.
Yeah,
You've also discovered a new rag, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm going to learn Pineapple Rag as well. So if anyone is into that kind of music, check him out. Scott Joplin's awesome.
Can't wait to see an actual video of your rendition of it.
Oh yeah, when I can play it properly, I'll go to like King's Cross Station and we'll do a bit of filming, playing on that. You know, the piano in the station.
It's a bit of a. That's like really scary thing to do, isn't it? Going just be filmed at the same time as playing it in King's Cross.
I guess there's no scarier than playing an actual gig. I mean, it's like people.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
People are just used to people doing it, so it's actually quite refreshing when someone's good as well. So get down there and do it.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be quite good. And you always get like a big circle of people. I think it'd be quite validating actually, because then you instead of just playing it in here, you'll be like able to see all the people making a big circle around you and
maybe. No, I won't be concentrating. I'll get a little.
You'll have to. I'll have to film it so that you can see afterwards. But
okay, cool,
there'll be it'll be awesome. It'll be, and do it on a peak time. Like when it's rush hour or something.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day. Cool. Any new healthy habits you've picked up recently?
If I catch myself feeling anxious or panicked or doing things really fast, like, right, got to do this next thing now, I'd say to myself, okay, slow down, be calm. And I read this thing about, if you want to be calm, think about a burgundy sock.
Burgundy sock?
A burgundy sock, just like lying on the floor, and think of yourself as the burgundy sock. I don't know. That was what the guy that we said. I suppose
there must be a reason for it.
I only wear red socks, so there's quite a lot of them around my house.
So easy.
But burgundy is specifically different to red.
Oh, that's a shame. Otherwise, I'd be really calm.
I think I'd go with green. I think green's a calmer colour. Maybe I'll go with green sock. So think of the green sock. Think of yourself as the green sock, which is just like lying. And something that really helps me have that visualization of I'm just the green sock.
And that annoy me though, because I'd be like, why is there a sock on the floor? I need to tidy up.
But You're not looking at the sock. You are the
I
sock.
am the sock. Oh, okay.
You are the
Should I
sock.
be like, where's my mate gone? Why it's just me on my own? Where's my other
No,
sock?
he's
lonely.
abandoned you. He's left you. That's why it's calm, because you don't have to deal with him anymore.
That's true. You've gone out on your own. You're independent. The green sock by yourself.
All my socks are independent.
Yeah. Have you ever heard Sock Manager?
No.
Sock Manager is a
Don't
German
read it.
creation where there are these little clips, these little plastic clips that when you put your socks into the washing machine, you clip them together with Sock Manager, and it means that when they come out again, they're still together.
Okay. German
Okay.
efficiency, right
Is it just a peg?
Yeah. It's like a little plastic clip.
I know.
And someone gave me a set of sock managers for my birthday once.
It's like the best
my
present for you,
reality.
isn't it?
It's like it's
Did
even
you
better than
get
just, you know,
socks as well?
Yeah, exactly. No socks, just the manager.
Yeah, and so this tube of these clips, and on the top it said Sock Star.
Nice.
Aw.
So and then
A pun as well.
Yeah, brilliant. So it's all
The
there.
only thing that's missing is a spreadsheet.
I know.
And it would have been like your dream Christmas.
It's very funny.
Have I got a spreadsheet for my socks? Not yet, but I'm working on it.
There you go. I just only wear red socks all the time, so it doesn't matter if they're
Pretty wise. It's pretty wise.
That's
up
quite
on that
clever,
idea.
because then you never lose them.
But there must
Adam,
be
what about you?
differences between the socks. Like there's some red
Slight
ones where there are
fades.
some with like some sort of different pattern on them, and some with a slightly more elasticated cuff. Is
No, I
that
bought like 30 pairs of the same socks, so
genius?
got rid of all the
Absolute
others.
genius.
The only differences are the ones that are more worn out than not worn out.
Yeah, so yeah.
But no,
Right, okay.
I've had a horrible week looking for different socks. Because I bought a pair of loafers, and normally I wear shoes that cover my socks. And then I bought loafers, and they show your socks. So now I have to be conscious of the fact that they match, and also of, them being cool socks. So it's just difficult.
I feel like we've touched on a lot more random subjects than normal this week.
Maybe we haven't got
Ben
Vincent
started
here
the
to
sock
grind us.
thing. He said, imagine
Yeah,
yourself as a
scrounged.
burgundy sock. I asked you, have you got any new healthy habits? I was
true.
trying to go on.
And it was about being calm, and in order to be calm, think of
Yeah.
the sock.
Okay,
Think
cool.
of the sock. Think of yourself as the sock. Be the sock. Be like, I'm just sock. I'm just a sock, and I'm fine.
Not a sock puppet, just a sock.
No.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you do this when you are anxious or angry or sad or stressed, or what feeling does it work best for?
It's all of the above. It's
All of
just
that, okay.
mostly that sense of like panic or like rushing from one thing to the next. Just slow down, be the sock. Slow down,
That's
be
so
the
good.
sock.
Okay, cool.
That could be a message on a badge. Couldn't it?
Yeah,
Be the sock.
there we go.
That's great. That's great. What about you, Adam? Do you have any new healthy habits this week?
Not as good as that. Not really. Not since last week.
Not since last week.
I
What
know.
about with the maple leaf rag?
Oh well, that was my answer to the last question. I mean, like,
Oh no, I mean I thought you might have some piano related habits or some practicing related habits. No, okay. Just practice every day.
yeah, just practice normal.
Just do it.
Just do it. Get that that in every single thing on all of the Slack. If it's like encouraging someone to do something, Adam posts the Shia LaBeouf gif
Yeah.
of him going, "Just do it, do it." All right. And
Sorry.
finally, what are you both most looking forward to?
For me, it's getting to the studio tomorrow and doing those guitars. Brilliant. After having been away for it for almost 3 weeks because I went on that tour, and I've been thinking about it and getting back in and finishing the guitars. And I love to be in that environment where the whole day is just about creating music and creating your own music as well with like your band and your vision. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also shooting the video, getting the song out there. And again, thank you guys for the contributions that you've made to make that happen. It's been so exciting for us to see that those donations have come in. And then I said earlier on, we've been able to then book in things to make it happen. And that's really progressive and it's really empowering for us. Thank you.
Woo, thank you. You can still donate. I'll put the link in the video description and get on our Discord as well, because that's fun.
Yes.
We've had a few new members this week, so hi new members, and
Hello.
thanks for joining.
Hi, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Are we done?
Yes,
Yeah, we're
brilliant.
done.
Brilliant.
Go home
Brilliant.
Go home now. We'll see you next week. I'm off to be a sock. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Be a
Hi,
sock.
guys.
Like and subscribe. Bye.